Hello, my name is Kathy Bryant, and this is my presentation for senior seminar on social work and strength-based solutions with a Christian focus. Social work historically can be traced to religious and charitable organizations who sought solutions to issues such as poverty. In Galatians, we see that this is speaking to our calling as Christians to be persistent in doing good for others. Strength-based social work started to become popular in the early 90s. Strength-based focuses on solutions and resiliency through four main beliefs or goals. The belief that the individual possesses what they need to make changes in their own life, creating trust between the client and the provider as partners, resiliency or remembering past challenges that have been overcome, and empowering the client to make decisions and become the expert. Blame, guilt, and shame are three stumbling blocks in the process. It is important to move away from blame and shame in order to establish resiliency. In the next slide, you will see one of my favorite authors, Brene Brown, who spent many years as a shame researcher, describe what empathy looks like as a tool to establishing connection and enabling someone to move away from guilt and shame. Please enjoy.
So what is empathy, and why is it very different than sympathy? Empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's very interesting. Teresa Wiseman is a nursing scholar who studied professions, very diverse professions where empathy is relevant, and came up with four qualities of empathy. Perspective taking, the ability to take the perspective of another person or recognize their perspective as their truth. Staying out of judgment, not easy when you enjoy it as much as most of us do. Recognizing emotion in other people and then communicating that. Empathy is feeling with people. And to me, I always think of empathy as this kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout out from the bottom and they say, I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, you can climb down. I know what it's like down here, and you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, it's bad, no, you want a sandwich? Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with at least. And we do it all the time. Because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, and we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So, I had a miscarriage. Oh, at least you know you can get pregnant. I think my marriage is falling apart. At least you have a marriage. John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. If I share something with you that's very difficult, I'd rather you say, I don't even know what to say right now, I'm just so glad you told me. Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
The National Association of Social Workers, like the APA, established a code of ethics stating what we know as Christians, that the individuals and society are tied together. Community is important. Because social issues have a profound effect on an individual, it is important for social workers to be informed about these issues and how they may be affecting the client. The social worker may want to find ways to connect to those social issues. God cares about our social structures. He cares for every aspect of our lives, and He cares about the injustices that people suffer. We see evidence of this in Exodus as He heard His people's cries and led them out of Egypt. You might say Moses was the first recorded social worker. This is just for fun, but social work does provide both great rewards as well as sometimes facing harrowing and tenuous challenges. Finally, as Paul reminds us, let us encourage each other to persevere, holding up those who need help as well as each other.